This morning I visited the Governor-General.
Climate is incredibly important to us.
Since the Coalition came out and said that everyone needed to be frog-marched back into the office.
And if it is 41,000, that will decimate our economy.
Is it important to you to beat Katie Gallagher into the #1 position?
Canberra doesn't always matter in federal elections. It hasn't been so, but increasingly it absolutely matters. It mattered in 2022 with the arrival of independent crossbencher David Pocock, and in 2025 everyone's talking about Canberra.
Canberra public servants.
So, yeah, always has a good old kick at the national capital.
And people refusing to go back to work in Canberra. And our plan, which was only ever targeted for the public service in Canberra.
This isn't Canberra-based as much as Mr Dutton would like it to be.
It will be of huge interest in regards to the return, likely, of a minority government. It's always a minority in the Senate these days. And David Pocock, if he's re-elected, will be a key crossbencher yet again.
I think there's still so much to do and would love to continue to do that. And I'll stand on my record as a senator for the ACT. I'm running a far leaner campaign this time, and we'll see what Canberrans think.
I've spoken to both Labor and Liberal, and both sides admit that David Pocock is very popular. Katie Gallagher, the powerful minister within the Albanese government, she's running again for the ACT Senate. She's been saying that she expects David Pocock to win his quota before her. So that she's casting herself as the underdog. The Liberals regard David Pocock as very popular as well. But what we've really got here is a three-way tussle for 2 seats. Yeah, I spoke to David Pocock about his agenda should he be re-elected as a key crossbencher. He says he's prepared to work with either side, but he's very concerned about the Canberra bashing that's been going on, and that is a reference to the Coalition and the public service, and whether the Peter Dutton would live in the lodge should he be elected. But what David Pocock would like, well, he sees tax reform. He would like to see some changes to the petroleum resource rent tax to get a greater share of gas import income. And as an ACT senator, he says he's standing up to allow the territory to get its fair share, to negotiate with whatever political stripe gets returned to government. This time around, David Pocock has let go of the Climate 200 funding that he got last time around. He had a $1.79 million war chest, and about $850,000 of that came from the political fundraising vehicle Climate 200. Pocock has let the Climate 200 funding go this time around, and he's running a far leaner campaign. But we are still in the middle of the campaign, and we won't find out about donations until next year, because that's the rules of the Electoral Commission. So this talk about Canberra and cutting down on wasteful spending and largely targeting the bureaucracy and the work from home policy that got wound back, that has brought a lot of attention on the Liberal candidate in Canberra. How do you run that? Now, there's been a thought that the Liberals are running dead. There's no way that they could actually rise above that. But the Liberals tell me that they're actually not running dead. They're running a traditional quiet campaign, very much door-knocking, meeting people on the ground and reaching out to what they call the consultancy vote. They want to reach out to the people that were working in the public service as more expensive consultants. These people, they believe, are disgruntled. They're talking to them and saying, well, they took the risks. They may want to blame Labor, and that's how they're going to run a lot of their campaign. The candidate himself, a guy who runs a small consultancy company, Jacob Vadekadathu, he hasn't been seen in the campaign in regards to being on the media. He's on social media though. He's very much keeping a low profile, reaching out to people and telling them that he's offering something else and maybe they want to punish Labor. Katie Gallagher is now the most powerful politician the ACT has ever produced. She is a confidant of the Prime Minister. She holds multiple portfolios and is widely seen as an extremely competent minister. She also is the leader of the government in the Senate. She's running, the business of the Senate. Very, very busy senator. And during the campaign, she's one of the national spokespeople. So that takes her away from Canberra. So she regards this as one of the most consequential elections for the ACT. and is very much a stark choice, she says, between Labor and the coalition. On the side, she's dealing with a popular independent senator, so there's that three-way tussle, which is making it quite difficult for Katie. She's reaching out to voters who might think that she's in because it's a Labor town. Well, it's very different these days in this three-way tussle, and she has to remind people that she's there and not to forget her, even though she is extremely powerful and very busy.